So in part A there, I showed you guys how to find the greatest common factor. You can list all the factors, find the one that are common, and find the largest of those common ones, or you can use the prime factorization method. I want you guys to make sure that you guys complete the 4 starred exercises right there. I'm going to give you some choice. You can use either method that you like. Now, I also want you guys to do a few word problems. We're going to do one word problem together. And before we do this, I want to talk about, and I'm going to make a list. And this is also on the board on the side of the classroom, which will be up for the test. We talked about how to find the greatest common factor. You can list the factors, use the listing method, or you can use prime factorization. But you also need to know when to find the greatest common factor. When looking at word problems, in the question, look for words that are something like greatest, or maybe most, or largest. Those are all clues that you're going to be finding the greatest common factor. Another clue that you're going to find greatest common factor is that you're going to be asked to find groups. A lot of times, groups are found using greatest common factor. I like to keep the G words together there to help me remember finding groups, greatest amount of groups, greatest common factor. So if I go back to the first word problem that I want you guys to, or we're going to do together, it says there are 18 girls and 24 boys who want to participate in a trivia challenge. If each team must have the same ratio of girls and boys, what is the greatest number of teams that can enter? Find how many boys and girls each team would have. So we're making teams out of girls and boys, 18 girls and 24 boys. We want to know what is the greatest number of teams that can enter, and how many boys and girls each team's going to have. Notice that's greatest there. That's a clue. Find the greatest common factor. Also, notice this says team. A team is a group of kids. So that's a clue to find the greatest common factor. Now, on these word problems, I want you guys to use the prime factorization method. And you'll see why here in a second. So I'm going to start with 18. I'm going to break it into 2 times 9. 2 is prime, 9 is not. 9 can be broken into 3 and 3. 24 can be broken into 3 and 8. 3 is prime. 8 can be broken into 4 and 2. And the 4 can be broken into 2 times 2. Now I'm going to make my Venn diagram, and I'm going to let this left circle represent my girls, and my right one represent boys. There's a 2 for the girls, there's a 2 for the boys, so I'm going to put that in the middle. There's a 3 for the girls, there's a 3 for the boys, so I'm going to put that in the middle. There's a 3 for the girls, but not for the boys. And there's 2 2s for the boys that are not for the girls. So some more room here. Now, to find the greatest common factor, I multiply the 2 shared prime factors. So 2 times 3 tells me that the greatest common factor of 18 and 24 is 6. However, that's not what they asked for. They asked what's the greatest number of teams that can enter. Well, the greatest common factor tells us how many teams or how many groups can be made. So the largest amount of teams that can be made is 6. Now we also have to find how many boys and girls each team would have. So that's where we look at the parts of the circle that are not shared. Notice there's a 3 for just the girls, and there's 2 2s for the boys. We could use that to figure out how many of each are on the team. That tells us there's going to be 3 girls. And if we multiply the 2 and the 2 for the boys, we get 4 boys on each team. Now, I already told you I'd like you guys to complete the greatest common factor exercises above there. I also want you guys to do the word problems B and C for homework tonight. I'd like you guys to show me evidence of 3 reads, and I'd like you guys to solve it if you can with prime factorization, and then finally I'd like you to put the final answers in sentences.